You might be at a point where you're realizing you've got to change the way you think about things. You've got to shift your mindset because what you're doing hasn't been serving you. But you might not be sure where to start because there's so many resources out there. In this video, I wanted to share with you the top things that I have invested in personally that have really shifted my mindset tremendously. Let's dive in. Now, the first thing I wanted to share is actually not very expensive, but it does take quite a bit of time, and that's reading books. There is a plethora of self-help, mindset, mind work type of books out there. And the only thing it really requires is your time. You can even get these books for free at your local library. But I would say reading different teachers, different philosophies, different types of thought, different ways in which the information is presented will really expand your mindset and can really open you up to new ways of thinking. A lot of times we get stuck in our old beliefs and we just, not that we don't want to change, we just never thought that there was something else or another way to think. And reading different books by different teachers is a phenomenal way that is low cost to really help to change or to expand your mindset. Now, after moving on from reading, I would say the first thing that I really invested time and money into was actually doing a yoga teacher training. Now, I never had any intention of actually teaching yoga, but the reason I wanted to do it was I wanted to understand, what are we doing here? What are we learning? Because in doing the postures and in doing the preparing myself to sit for meditation, I noticed a shift happening within me. I noticed I was starting to expand my mind. I was starting to think in different ways or think about things that I had never thought of before. I was open to new possibilities and I wanted to know what was happening. So for me, in doing a yoga teacher training, I was able to understand why were we sitting? What was our goal? What were we doing? For me, feeling the effects was one thing, but understanding the why was actually even more important. So for me, in delving deeper into the 8 limbs of yoga helps me to really grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, as well as physically. For me, what was really worth the investment was that for the first time was able to think in a more positive manner. I didn't look at the negative side of things all the time anymore. And that for me in my early 20s was a kind of profound shift for me. I had always been very driven, and anything negative that came, I needed to examine it and think about it. And generally that was all I kind of thought about. But being able to do that yoga teacher training really was the starting point for me in working with mindset and realizing actually the importance of it. Another great resource that has really helped me to work with my mindset has been purchasing a yearly subscription to a service called Mindvalley. Now they have both an app and a website, and what it is really like the Netflix of personal growth. They have an accumulation of many different teachers who have many different courses that focus on different areas of personal growth. So they have things that work on meditation and mindset or positive thinking. They have things that work on weight loss or building, like thinking abundantly. Many different types of areas of personal growth, which I really find fascinating. And what really helps me to open up my mind is being able to learn from all these different teachers. And it's a little bit different from just reading a book because most of them are courses that you walk through. And then, of course, there's a practice component with most of them as well. So having access to something like this or investing in something like that for me has been really eye-opening. And again, another way to look at all the different ways in which you can approach things, which again, for me also helps me when I'm working with clients who are looking to shift their mindset, because everything doesn't resonate with everyone, right? I find that in working with clients, you need different tools and you need to match that tool to the person who's in front of you or the person who's behind the camera. And sometimes when you're in a mood, you may need to approach yourself from different vantage points. So having access to a service like that for me has been really worth the investment. Another investment that I've made that has been truly life-changing as far as me working with mindset has been attending the week-long advanced events with Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you are curious about these events, I do have 2 previous videos where I talk about, I went to the event in San Diego in 2022, as well as the Cancun event at the end of 2022 in December. Both of these events were fantastic. I would say for most people, these events are rather expensive. There's the fee for the event itself, plus if you're traveling and your hotel and things like that. But for me, it has been so worth the investment because it is a time where I get to completely shut out the rest of my existing life. I don't have to worry about things. I physically remove myself from my environment and get to go somewhere where I'm in a room with other people who all have the same goal of working on themselves. And for me, being in that kind of, I think of it as like a meditation boot camp, is truly, truly transformative. And for me, really worth the investment. A final thing I'd like to share that I've invested in is actually taking vacations alone. Now, I'm already the type of person who doesn't mind going on vacation by themselves. I get to do what I want, when I want, where I want, or if I don't want to leave the hotel, I don't have to. Now, these don't need to be long vacations. It can be a day, it can be 2 days, a little weekend getaway. You don't have to go clear across the country, at least not for me. What I find is when I'm able to take this time to kind of disconnect and I don't necessarily have an agenda or have anything to do, it opens up a way for me to really connect and be a little bit more creative and think about what I actually want to create in my life. And having that mindset of that you are the creator of your experience has been just super transformative to me. So investing in myself and being able to take away that time from my practice and my clients and step away from my family has been just really tremendous and transformative. And I would dare say that we could all benefit from that every now and again. So those are some of the top things that I personally have invested in that have really been transformative for my mindset and helping me work with clients and their mindset. So let me know in the comments below what has been something that you've invested in that has been really worth it, that's really helped you transform your mindset or transform your life. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.